The suspension of Ball and the continued absence of the injured Steve Williams means that Trevor Hebbard is also in midfield today. Chris Nicol returns in defence after missing 2 matches through injury. The second was last Tuesday's friendly in Portugal when Southampton lost 4-0 to Benfica. West Brom, who themselves beat Southampton 4-0 earlier in the season at the Hawthorns, have 3 players in that England under-21 squad. Number 7, Brian Robson, number 9, Cyril Regis, and number 10, Gary Owen, who returns after injury. Alistair Brown is dropped after 16 games without scoring, and Peter Barnes is also left out. He's the substitute. So there's a new face at number 11, where Derek Monaghan, 21 years old, from Redditch, makes his league debut for Albion this afternoon. A good run for both these teams was spoiled last week when Albion lost to Aston Villa and Southampton were beaten at Coventry. And it's Southampton in the red and white stripes, playing from right to left in the first half here at the Dell. Charlie George. First free kick to be taken for Southampton by Malcolm Waldron. Shannon on the far side of the box calling. Challenged by Weil. It was away by Pendry. Now Dave Watson. That's Monaghan getting his first touch, and a good one too. He found Dean. Nick Holmes there is the Southampton captain this afternoon in the absence of Alan Ball. And the Albion goalkeeper, Tony Godden, making his 148th consecutive appearance in the first team. 2 more and he'll create a club record. Brian Robson. Header by Watson. Waldron. John Weil with the challenge. An early injury affecting the Albion defence here. Alistair Robertson's gone down. George Wright, the Albion trainer there, physiotherapist, shortly on his way to Vancouver to a new job. Indeed, following in the footsteps of Alan Ball. And Ron Atkinson, the Albion manager, in the raincoat on the bench. And nearer to us, the Southampton bench. Indeed, Albion have made a change already tactically to compensate for Robertson's injury. They've put Robson in the back 4 for the moment. And Robertson is actually moved further forward while he sees if he can actually run that injury off. Here's Watson. Shannon goes through. Oh my word! What a good effort by Shannon. He's there again, and good goalkeeping by Tony Godden, who made not just 1 save but 2. And Shannon's control when the ball was played through was quite superb. The way he brought it down, reminiscent of his England days. But his first shot on goal, well saved by the goalkeeper, and when Shannon tried to feed on the rebound, Godden was there again. Well, Watson has been penalised for the challenge on Regis. Weil and Dean in together, a good header by Nicol. That's Baker, and Southampton could move well here. Golak, George. That's a lovely ball. Waldron. And so's that. Look at the way they're spreading this play around. Golak. Try again. Gary Owen is the man in the way. And actually has won Albion the throw. Good persistent piece of defending. So 5 minutes left in a first half dominated by Southampton, but no goals. And on the break for Albion, here's Dean. Got Regis in the centre, Monaghan's getting there as well. But Dean's pass straight to Baker, now Hebbard. In the way was Robson. Header by George, interception by Owen. Who finds Batson. Monaghan well forward, Nicol jumping with him. Waldron. Holmes. Shannon's made a run on the far side. Controlled it well too, did Shannon, and put Hebbard in here for a shot. Hebbard disappointed obviously with his finish, but Mike Shannon really has had an interesting and effective first half. He's been the target for so many of the long passes that Southampton have thrown forward, and there he controlled the ball expertly and put Hebbard in good space, but the shot was off target. Baker's made a strong run forward, there he is. But no room to do very much over there. Shannon with the throw. Hebbard. There's Dean. Monaghan to the right, Regis to the left. There goes Regis. It's a good ball from Dean to Regis. And Regis finishes in good Regis style. That came just a minute before half-time, and Cyril Regis scores the kind of goal on the break that's always likely when a team have been defending as well as Albion have and suddenly get the chance to move out. But let's admire first the ball that Dean played. It was beautifully judged through the centre. It put Regis just far enough away from the defender that he needed, because he's got good pace and he ran on, and that's true composure in finishing, drilling the ball low past the advancing goalkeeper, and Regis makes it 9 goals in 15 games for him. Shannon, away by Weil. Well, that was a bit strong by Shannon on Pendry. Bit of frustration creeping in there, and a yellow card's been shown, I suspect, to Mike Shannon, because it did look to me, Gary Pendry may even be telling the referee not to book him there. He interceded for a moment. He certainly took the card out, Mr. Downey, for the foot up by Mike Shannon on Gary Pendry, and he has booked him. That was an interesting moment, because it looked to me as if Shannon was high, but just for a minute Pendry tried to step in and I think restrain the referee, but in the end Shannon was definitely booked. It was Regis, Monaghan, Dean. Offside. Well, the first half was a story of 2 number 9s. Mike Shannon so involved in the domination that Southampton held for a long period. Couldn't quite turn it into a goal, though. And then when Albion broke, Cyril Regis, finishing well, put them in front. And that's how it stands at half-time. Southampton 0. West Bromwich Albion, with just 1 away win to their name before today in the league, 1. Mr. Robertson has gone off with that first half injury. And that, I think, will mean that Brian Robson will switch from midfield to the Albion back 4, and John Dean may well find himself in midfield, and Barnes in his normal position on the left wing. Southampton playing from left to right with Baker on the ball. And it's Baker again. Golak's cross, and that was Robson, who incidentally is very versatile and loves to play in that position of sweeper, effectively. It's his favourite role, actually, even though he played for England in midfield the other week. Here's Shannon. Free kick, obstruction by Pendry. Shannon got a blow in the face as a result of that, and the free kick is indirect, of course. Came to George. Nicely back to Shannon. Oh, and a good header by Boyer, and well stopped by Godden. And Watson couldn't get to the rebound, and Boyer was very close to his 22nd goal of the season there. But the danger's not over yet. Here's Holmes. And there's Boyer again. Nice flick, and Chris Nicol still forward. Taken out by Gary Pendry. The earlier header from Boyer was a good one. It had power on the ball, but Tony Godden reacted well to keep Albion in front. George. Oh, Baker's little touch not quite coming off. Southampton haven't perhaps quite played the final ball as well as they normally do. Here's Baker again. Shannon, that's a foul by Pendry, coming in the back. Waldron up there, so was Shannon, and finally Regis. Everybody had come back for that free kick. This is Holmes. There's Watson. Oh, Boyer's touch! So often what's intended to be a shot can become a cross, and Dave Watson met it on the volley, drove it, and Boyer, always alert to that kind of opportunity, stuck his foot out, and it was only a foot or so wide, if that. So we're 10 minutes into the second half, and Southampton, who've been beaten 3 times here at home this season in the league by Coventry, Leeds and Arsenal, trail 1-0 now to West Bromwich Albion. But they get a free kick. Shannon was fouled by Pendry. Nicol and Watson are both forward on the far side. But really, Golak's kick, nothing like good enough. Holmes puts it back in, though. And Godden comfortably. Look at that kick for Barnes. Superb kick by the goalkeeper, and Barnes is right through, and he goes for the lob, and he's cleared the crossbar. And that was a quite marvellous piece of attacking play by a goalkeeper, because Tony Godden looked up, having come quickly off his line, and he saw what was on. And that was a ball which put Peter Barnes clean through. He just lost the chance to go on when perhaps he might have done. Perhaps the pitch held him up slightly. And then when he saw the second alternative, which was to lob the goalkeeper at the other end, he was just too high. And Southampton growing a little more anxious perhaps as the match goes on, and they still can't seem to create the absolutely clear scoring chance. Here's Peter Barnes. Monaghan fouled by Nicol in the back. They're appealing for handball there because they thought Barnes had already taken the kick when Pendry put his hand on it. Anyway, it's taken this time by Robson. This is Pendry. Owen, Barnes. And that's Golak. And that's Shannon, that's beautiful. That's George, look at that as well. Holmes, terrific play by Southampton, great to watch. Can they finish it? Shannon might, can George? Oh! What a terrific piece of football. The ball moving from one side of the field to the other, it was sweetly delivered all the way. And when it was played into the penalty area, Shannon got a touch on it, played it back to George, and although his shot cleared that crowd of players, it also cleared the far post. And back by Nicol. And that was well again, and again Nicol. And then Baker. And Owen looking for Barnes, but Golak with time to turn. Well, it's a lively, interesting match this. Albion still leading 1-0. Holmes to Waldron. Baker. Waldron. Watson. One touch from Southampton. Oh, and there goes Hebbard. Nice ball from Waldron to him. Boyer's in there! Oh, it's gone wide! Well, that was a really good opening created by Malcolm Waldron and Trevor Hebbard. Waldron played the ball down to Hebbard, who got to the dead ball line, or near it, and played the ball into the near post, and, well, Boyer's scored a lot of goals in that position. On this occasion, the ball span just wide. Free kick to Albion, fouled by Nicol. Dean pulling away far side, he did that well. Monaghan's in there, so is Regis. There's Robson up, here's Baker. Charlie George. Holmes going to the left now. Still George. Nobody on the right. Couldn't go that way. Hibberd. Really wanted somebody the other way there, Charlie George. In goes Golak. Here's George again. Hibberd. Golak running on. Really well played by him. Here's Shannon. Baker! Oh, it flew in! Graham Baker does the job. And Southampton equalise. And congratulations as well for Ivan Golak, who, coming down the right, helped to make the goal. The ball played in, not back, and Baker hit that beautifully. It hit the inside of one post and flew in the other side of the net. So Baker scores his 5th goal of the season. The lad who actually scored his first goal after only about 50 seconds of his debut here against Blackpool in the 2nd division. And he's got the scoring touch again today. Really was perfectly struck, that. Moses takes on Waldron. Cheeky little bit of skill, but Waldron was equal to, well, here's Batson. Dean. And the referee's given a free kick to Southampton. Well, they can make plenty of noise at the Dell. Shannon competing. Boyer's in. Well, he nearly was. Hibberd, George. Hibberd. Oh, Boyer was free. What a great save by Godden. Well, the second header that Boyer's had that he must have thought was on its way in, and Godden, whose reflexes are so good on his line, made a fine save going to his right. And the game ends in a 1-1 draw. And Graham Baker, the man who we mentioned at the start, as the two managers leave together, great pals they are too, Laurie McMenemy and Ron Atkinson. Graham Baker effectively had the last word, because although there was plenty of activity after he equalised, there were no more goals. An interesting point about the crowd is that with a capacity of 24,000, Southampton's attendance again today was over 22,000, and so they continue to keep up this mean average and not very far off filling the ground. Southampton 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.